Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the hero, just like all of you predicted. I'm kidding. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Tom Gazzola, live on location. Hudson's, Canada's Pub, Bourbon Street location. I'll tell you right now, it's getting rowdy in here. A lot of Christmas parties, a lot of people, a few deep, and they're here for a good time. The Oilers adding to that 4-3 overtime win. Of course, if you're just tuning in, get into the conversation. Text us 780-218-9999 if you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Apple Music, of course, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player. And then if you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up and get into the nasty chat. Yes, indeed, the Oilers come out of their mini break with a victory to kick off this 3-game road trip. It took overtime. It took them giving up the lead in this one, and they managed to get the job done. They do it the hard way. Surprise, surprise. All right, GCL Diesel, proud partners of all of us here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Nanso, let's get you on here right away. Get your thoughts early on from this Oilers victory as, they get their first win in Utah. First visit, and again, technically, this is an expansion franchise, so all that Arizona history, gone. This is 1-0 versus Utah HC, soon to be Yeti or whatever the hell they're going to call them. Some of the things you take away from that win tonight for the Oilers, Nanso.
Yeah, some good, some bad. I think Nuge made up for it because I think he was in part culprit on that third, the tying goal. Him and Bouchard played that terribly. No effort.
They got crossed up. Yeah.
A tough game for some of the big boys for the Oilers when it comes to their defensive play. Like I said, they were bad in this game, Tom. I think until pod-sklon scored that goal, it was all Utah in this game. Oilers found a way. Their power play came to life. Found some goals. Got a lucky break on the Draisaitl. Horrible defensive play on the third goal, but hey, listen, they couldn't capitalize on the power play, but they were able to get a goal from Nugent-Hopkins, who he looked like he was pretty pumped because I think he knows he wasn't very good on the night, but was able to find the goal. And you got to look at the positives, Tom. The power play again, the PK again. Not again for the power play, sorry, but at least they scored 2 goals. PK now 8 straight games without giving up a power play goal. Pickard pretty good tonight, and then you got to be happy for the podfather, pod-sklon, notching another one, got the boys going in this one. I thought Jeff Skinner had a good first half of the game. He was all over it in that first period. And, hey, the most important thing is they get 2 points, and they go into Colorado tomorrow, who's also playing Dallas tonight. I think they're down 4-3 at the moment, Tom.
Yes.
I can check in on that. So they're going to
I've got that here.
Yeah, they're going to get a feisty bunch tomorrow in Colorado. So an important 2 points for the Edmonton Oilers. Let's leave it at that for now.
There you go. Nice little summary there, Hernan. The Stars are actually up 5-3 now. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the third period in Dallas. Both teams, the Avs and the Oilers, having to travel to Denver, and they'll meet up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We're on the air, 7 p.m. Boston Pizza Westgate will be live on location. It's going to be great. Come join us. Shout out to Rob from the Grove, the entire Combine crew for stopping by. We had a good, I think, about 8 to 10 people here from our nasty collective, and always a pleasure. And I know tomorrow night at BP is going to be great. Okay, we will get Matt Cassian on here shortly if he takes a break from his friends giving a dinner party wearing their Merlot merino wool sweaters. All the wives made the guys wear that. That's hilarious. And then Derek Van Diest from NHL.com is actually here, and he'll stop by as well when Cass is all done. GCL Diesel, of course, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. All right, let's go to the scoring summary and the game stats from this one. Like I mentioned off the top, it was Utah building up a lead. 2-0 after 1 on goals by Alex Kerfoot, his 4th of the year from Kevin Stenlund. That's a 4th-line Utah goal against the Oilers' top forward unit and defensive pairing at 6:17. You get the bad turnover from Connor McDavid in the neutral zone, and then you get Evan Bouchard playing the 2-on-1. let's just say it, poorly. Slides slowly, doesn't take away the shot, doesn't take away the pass, and you get the pass from Stenlund over to Kerfoot. He tucks it home past Calvin Pickard, and then Logan Cooley out-muscles Brett Kulak in front of Calvin Pickard after the initial save comes from the Valimaki shot, and Cooley bangs home the trash at 17-15 to make it 2-0 Utah Hockey Club. In the second period, after what was a pretty bad first period, I'd say, for the Oilers, Todd Colson, pod-sklon, Vasily Podkolzin, he's on a 2-game heater. Good for him. I know people are going to be like, Tom, look at him go. It's top 6 guy. That's what you need from him. This is good. Good that he scored that on a 2-on-1, his second of the season and second in as many games. Leon Draisaitl and Troy Stetcher the assist at 9:44 to get the comeback going. And then it would be Draisaitl at 14:01 on the power play. That's important. His 17th of the year from McDavid and Bouchard. You saw the cross-seam pass, went off a stick right to Draisaitl. He bangs it into the empty net past Karel Vejmelka to make it 2-2. And then at 16:22, so what, we get 3 goals in about a 7-minute span. Connor McDavid on another power play, his 12th of the season. Nice wrister over the glove hand of Vejmelka from Bouchard and Perry. 3-2 Oil after 2. But in that third period, Lawson Krause, you heard Hernan talking about it, he would get the equalizer at 3:42. He didn't like the way that it was Bouchard and Nugent-Hopkins got crossed up. Krause can just walk in unperturbed or disturbed, and he snipes it past Calvin Pickard. Krause has 4 on the year. Of course, he snapped a 14-game goalless drought as well in the process. Bugstad and Mata with the assist, 3-3. Nobody would score until overtime when Ryan Nugent-Hopkins would strip Matthias Michelli, and then he would go in on the odd man rush and make no mistake. He fires it. Actually, it was kind of a one-on-one, but he had someone coming down the wing with him late, and he makes it 4-3 for the Oilers' victory at 1:18, unassisted. Nugent-Hopkins, just his 3rd goal of the season. Shots on goal, 32-31 for the Oilers. Face-offs, the Utah Hockey Club wins that battle, 52.8 to 47.2%. Power play for the Oilers. Here's where the special teams were excellent. They were difference makers, 2 for 3. And then the PK goes 1 for 1. That's 8 straight games, 17 for 17 in that stretch. They have not allowed a goal on the PK since November 9th against Vancouver, late in the dying minutes of that one. Hits officially 16-8 in favor of Utah. Block shots 23 for Utah. Edmonton with 7. Giveaways officially 16-12 Utah with the 16, Edmonton with the 12, and then takeaways, the off-ice officials have it at 12-8, Edmonton with 12, Utah with 8. All right, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999, and if you're watching on YouTube, get into the nasty chat. It's the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. The Oilers 4-3 OT winners over Utah. First time that these two teams have locked horns. I see Matt Cassian is ready to go. We're going to get to some texts, but I'll just go to the turning point in the game. You know what? I think I'm going to give the PK credit, because if they let one in, maybe this game is a completely different story. Yeah. So the one opportunity that Utah got and the Oilers killed it off, I'm going to say that is the turning point of the game. Of course, brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. At Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy, we treat you like the pros. Our multidisciplinary team includes sports medicine physicians, along with highly skilled physiotherapists, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage therapists. Whether you're recovering from injury or looking to enhance performance, we treat you like a pro using the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game. So that turning point is the PK, and that makes sure that the game at that point stayed 2-1, and then the Oilers go and they get a couple of power play markers, take the lead, cough it up in the third period, only to win it in overtime. There you go. There's your turning point of the game, brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. There he is, wearing his Merlot merino wool sweater that Mandy got him, and all the wives. have the guys, have they started shedding that sweater, or is everybody hanging in there? How's the Friendsgiving going, Cass?
No, it's good. It's good. We ripped back home because we got real lives and babysitters and kids. So we didn't. It wasn't one that was going too late.
Okay.
But it was lots of fun. Really, really good. I'll fire you guys a picture. There's a pretty good picture. There's a couple of guys that opted out of the picture. They didn't.
Smart.
They didn't feel up for being in there. There's some hip touching and some good posing for all of us. But it was good. It was good. Yeah, it's lots of fun. The food was delicious. The company was fantastic, and the Oilers won. Ugly win. I don't know if I'm on base saying that. If you guys agree with me, I think it was a little ugly, but you found a way at the end of it to get the 2 points and to only give them one.
Cass, you're like it's like you saw this early today because you said turkey legs. And the Oilers looked like a bunch of turkeys for the first 30 minutes of this game. They were pretty bad, but you nailed it with game changers. Like it was a little bizarre, but six days off from a game cast. They didn't look like they were ready to go. They couldn't move the puck. Just turnovers galore as well that led to it. But they, like you said, they found a way. But you were right. Like this was a very slow start for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, and we could have used a faster one. Would have liked to have seen them out of the gate a little bit more. And then I didn't like that they didn't execute well off the start. Like, even if you need to get your legs back up to game speed, like, you should be crisp. You've had a lot of time to practice, so didn't like that. But, hey, guys, maybe the practice time helped something. You go 2 for 3 on the power play. And Tom, I know you picked the PK as a turning point. I'm going to take that first power play goal for me. If I'm picking a turning point in this game, I think that first power play goal. I don't want to say it settled the power play down, but to me that was a huge goal to be able to score that one. So I'm picking that first power play goal. I thought that was big for the Edmonton Oilers. Big part of this game, but guys, a little bit ugly game. A little bit of an ugly game, but hey, they do find a way.
Hey, who does the turning point of the game? Me or you, Cass? I'm kidding.
You do.
I'm kidding.
Too. I'm allowed.
I know. I'm teasing. All right, keep those texts coming in. We're going to get to a bunch. Your thoughts on the Oilers' 4-3 overtime win in Utah to kick off this 3-game road trip. We talked about turkey legs, and then they picked it up. Can we say, is it too soon, guys, to say that it looks like things are back on track? I know on the PK side, I feel like I'll get more yeses than nos from our audience. On the power play side, I think 2 for 3 is highly encouraging. Yeah. They didn't get one on that late power play. I know they had all kinds of sustained zone time and pressure, but they couldn't convert. Like, I liked what I saw from the power play. I'm not going to disagree a lot with you, Cass, about saying that was the turning point, but can we say these special teams are back, or is it, hey, signs of life? What would you guys say?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the first one, it's a fortunate bounce for the Oilers, right? He's trying to look for pair. He goes off the Utah player, but hey, man, you need those sometimes to get it going. And then the second one, I'm just glad I was sitting there with DVD and we're like, good thing he shot. Because, like, McDavid has such a great shot, guys. Like, he needs to use it more. He's always trying to defer and look for dry side on for the other guys. But I think it's a good start. They're going to build some confidence with this, especially going into Colorado, boys. So, for me, anytime you scored 2 power play goals for a power play that's been struggling, I think it was the first time this year, Tom, they've scored 2 in a game. I think they said on the broadcast, so it was good for them. And the other part of it, guys, Utah's the most penalized team in the league, and halfway through that game, you're like, man, the Oilers are not earning any calls, but they were able to get 2 out of the 3 there, and there's a reason why Utah struggles in that department, boys.
Yeah. Cass, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree and disagree with Hernan here. I'm gonna agree. I think we've seen enough now from the PK to be like, okay, the PK is back on track. That's enough games in a row where they've kept it to 8 games without giving up a PK goal against. I'm ready to say, okay, they're back. The power play, there's some momentum there, but I'm not ready to say it yet. It was good that you get the 2 goals, as you said, and I know I picked it as a turning point. You get the little deflection off of that first goal, but you still have possession. You're still moving the puck, and moving the puck generally towards the direction of the net. And sometimes you get those bounces. So you take it and you finished it. So Leon was in a great spot and he finishes it. But to get 2 power play goals, big goals in a game, and I know you don't get the third, as you mentioned, Tom, but to create some momentum there, which is good. So signs of life, absolutely for the power play. Not ready to say it's all the way there yet, but signs of life. The PK right now is back.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Natso.
No, I was just going to say, I don't think it's back either. I'm just saying it was good for them to finally score 2 goals in a game. I think they got a ways to go to be back where we're used to seeing them, but it's a good sign that they were able to get 2. Maybe they can build some confidence out of it.
All right, before we go to texts and the nasty chat, I have one more thing I want to bring up, and it's Evan Bouchard as a whole tonight. You're looking at the stat line. Dusty pointed this out in our EST group chat, and he goes 2 assists, 2 points, -3. Classic Bouchard. How would we categorize his game tonight? Cass, go ahead.
Not as bad as some people are saying. I know a lot of people want to blame that game-tying goal, goal number 3 by the Utah Hockey Club on him. That was all Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to me. You know, Evan Bouchard stays with this guy. I thought that was his read. He has the outside guy stepping onto the ice. He follows him. That's who has the puck. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins doesn't even shoulder check. He just kind of goes and gets caught twice. It does kind of a weird. I don't even know what really he was doing. So we're not faulting him on that one. And I'm trying to remember the other goals exactly where he was, but I don't think it was as bad as the -3. And he maybe didn't quite earn the 2 points. So maybe it is the most Evan Bouchard night ever, where it's like, yeah, he did some good things. Helped move the puck well in the power play. Got a little burned defensively, but not horribly where I felt like, oh, this was 100% him doing something ridiculous. How do you guys feel?
Go ahead, Hernan.
It was a roller coaster for me, and I agree with you on that. Because the first goal, everybody on Twitter was blaming Bouchard, but who lost the puck at center ice? It's Connor McDavid. Yeah, to lead to the 2-on-1. And sure, you can blame Bouchard for going down on his belly. I know we've always complained about Nurse doing that. Why do you go down like that? But at that point,
can I jump in on that? Because I harp on Nurse going down all the time. Generally, but usually when I'm doing that, it's usually like at the side of the net or on the PK.
Yeah.
When you're just going down, and I do not like when guys in the corners, defensemen, leave their feet at the side of the net. Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. This was not that situation. Laying down on a 2-on-1 situation is different to try to take away time and space. Now, maybe he didn't time it perfectly, but that one too is like you have to look like that pass across the Kerfoot. Like he waits him out there. That's not a horrible slide by Evan Bouchard. You know, he is long, maybe a touch early on it. Like he could have waited another second or two on it. So his slide's a little early, but that's not like an egregious bad. Like, you know, that pass to Kerfoot still has to get through. He still has to step around him. And if I'm being honest in that, if you watch, like that pass is made really at the bottom of the circles. You could make an argument that Pickard's got to get a stick on that. You could make an argument that he's got to get a stick on that, right? Like that's right in front of him, and he's cheated right up against his post. And I get where there's a post lane there, but the shooting angle is nothing. So yeah, I don't harp on Bouchard for that one as much as everyone maybe would, but I don't mind the slide there a little bit early, but it's not like it's a, one of those side of the net, why is he doing it slides?
Because he's a -3, Tom. So the second one was the deflection.
With Kulak fighting with Cooley, So he was on for that one. That's not on him.
No.
And then, like we said earlier, Nugent-Hopkins and him get crossed up on that third one. So someone was texting in. I was looking at the text line, and they're like, "How does that work?" Or I think it was in the nasty chat. His assist came on the power play, right?
Yeah.
So you don't get a plus. You don't get a plus for those. Yeah. Just a reminder. Okay, let's get to some text. If you have any thoughts or you want to ask Cass or myself or Nanso something or bounce it off of us, 780-218-9999, and then get into the nasty chat as well. And before we get to the text line, I will say the portions of this hour brought to you by our good friends here at Hudson's, Canada's Pub. You're invited to watch any Oilers game day, and they do all-day happy hours on Thursday. They have drink specials and game day specials on Oilers game days, and they've been featuring their house draft, which they have the new Blueberry Blonde Ale. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. It is busy. Christmas party's happening. They've already started. There's a bunch of them in here right now. The dance floor is already going. These girls are super drunk. They're ready to bump and grind all night. And then when it's not Friday of Black Friday, come on in, as they like to say here at Hudson's. And no, don't ask me where you can sit. I am not your maitre d'. I'm doing a damn radio show.
No,
okay.
Ask him where you can sit now. Please do.
Please do. That mall, boys, was busy. Holy smoke.
It's still busy. People are still coming in right now. I'm watching the entrance here at Bourbon Street. It's still busy. Good vibes, though. Very good vibes. And Oilers winning tonight adds to it. All right, let's get to some texts. The Liquid Beaver texting in says, hey, what do you know? The Nuge was playing in today's game. Nice of him to show up. Here's an interesting one, guys. Comes in from the 631 area code. Says the Oilers seem more relaxed and composed with Pickard between the pipes. What say you? Hernan, then Cass.
I don't know. I mean, they weren't good for the first 30 minutes. So I wouldn't say they look relaxed. That's just Skinner's just kind of one of the whipping boys now. So I don't buy into that. I think they look calm and whatever you want to call it, from game in and game out, they look the same with Skinner or Pickard to me. So for me, that's just piling on Stuart Skinner. So Pickard was good. I'm not going to take anything away from him. Halfway through that game, the Oilers had 7 shots on net, and he was holding the fort for them to get back into that game. So I don't buy into that. The team looks a lot more confident and calm in front of Pickard instead of Skinner. So that's just my take.
Yeah, I mean, the Oilers still played better in front of Skinner against New York. Right? And they weren't great. They weren't great tonight. Pickard played well tonight. They made some big saves. A really good save in the third. Also, by the way, I don't know if we have it up on the board, because that would be I think it's 631. Isn't that New York? I think it's a New York code.
I can look it up.
I think it's a New York one. But regardless of where that texter is texting him from, I don't know. I don't agree. We'll just leave it at that.
It's Suffolk, New York. Sweet. Okay, I've got another text that I want to get to. Where the heck was it? All right, comes in from James on the Nasty Chat. Says, what did you guys think of Nurse and Stetcher being paired together? Cass?
Well, Stetcher is a guy. I actually had another conversation with someone earlier today about how they haven't looked at this maybe enough to try Stetcher and Nurse together. Stetcher should be a guy, is a veteran player that maybe can provide you some stability there. But I think even from just the team as a whole, where the team wasn't great, they didn't have a lot of jam, there wasn't a lot of jump, and you're trying to mix things up a little bit and trying to spread some minutes out a little bit. Stetcher plays there, but is it just to even mix those guys in? Because I'm trying to think of how many shifts they actually played together, because it wasn't a ton. It was for a little bit. Stetcher still only ends up with just over or just under 16 minutes played. You're probably at that point realistically just trying to work somebody in, but you don't necessarily trust Emberson and Stetcher out there by themselves together. And so you're going to work them in with Bouchard or with Kulak rather, and Nurse, and kind of try to rotate some of those guys through to make sure they're still getting on the ice, but you're maybe not just putting that third pairing out by itself. If anything, that's my read on what happened. I'd have to go back and watch the shifts again to get a perfectly accurate answer. But my assumption is it was just to try to get Stetcher in and to keep him playing, so he didn't end up at 10 minutes or 11 minutes on the night.
My natural inclination would be to be scared if those two are out there together.
Yeah.
I'm just
well, that's
saying.
why you rotate them through, right?
Yeah. All right, let's get to some more text. 780-218-9999. The Oilers win 4-3 in overtime over the Utah Hockey Club. Gazzola, Cassian, and Salas with you. I'm live on location, Hudson's, Bourbon Street. And, we got some Sean Paul going right now. Derek Van Diest from NHL.com will stop by in a few minutes. Nanso back at ESTHQ, and Cass back at the EST Satellite Studios, a.k.a. his office at home. All right, Hampton Steve texting in says, good evening, gentlemen. Nice comeback win by the Oilers after an ugly first period. Hopefully they can use the momentum to slingshot themselves into tomorrow night's game. Death, taxes, and Nuge shooting low blocker. Let's go to Mac Lamec. Says, good game, great comeback by the Oilers, great goal by Nugget. All right, let's go to Shaggy in St. Albert. We're going to have to decipher what Shaggy has to say here, because he always sends us a good breakdown and his thoughts. Shaggy in St. Albert says, 2 good games in a row for Pod-Sklon, and his line, classic Oilers game, don't show up for the first 20 minutes, get back in the game, get lead, then blow lead, make it to overtime, and for a change of pace, Nuge with the OT winner. Once again, a win is a win game. Again, you can see the warts on this team. Oilers can make a win feel like a loss. Positives of the game: special teams were special. Got goals from guys who needed them. Pickard kept them in the game, and he made that big save to keep it 3-3. That's from Shaggy in St. Albert, referencing Pickard on that huge save, toe save on Schmaltz. I don't know about the win feeling like a loss. The warts certainly are there, but are they starting to rid themselves of these warts, Cass?
Slowly. I mean, it's like they're warts that you got to freeze more than once, right? You get a little bit the first time, you got to go back in, and who knows, at some point they may need to take the scalpel and just carve everything out. But for now, it's improving. The topical medication is working. They're slowly getting there, guys. They're slowly getting there. As we talked about, PK, which was atrocious at the start of the season, that's improved and has been working. There are some good signs from the power play. You have some good signs like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, even though he was doing Lord knows what on the goal 3 against, finds a way to score a huge goal in overtime. And Pod-Sklon scores another goal, has goals in back-to-back games. You're getting some offense from not just McDavid and Draisaitl, guys that are finding ways to put the puck in the net, and that's important. So Wart's still there for sure, but there has been some positive motion, and that's something to feel good about. And I don't feel that way, guys. I know you guys don't feel that way. I don't feel like this was like a loss tonight. I'm just like, no, got some points on the road. It was ugly. It was great. Coming out of a long break, at least you won.
I thought Utah was feisty. What would you say, Hernan, to Shaggy in St. Albert?
Yeah, I mean, today, guys, what we saw in that game is the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Edmonton Oilers. Kind of a mixture of what we've seen throughout this season, right? We saw a lot of good things. We saw some bad things. We saw some mediocre things. And we saw some good performances, some bad performances. So, and all within the same player. Like, there were some good plays made by Bouchard, and then some that leave you head scratched. Same with Nuge and all that. I think, it's just, this team is very, very, very frustrating. It's because you know how good they can be, and they showed it last Saturday, and then today they showed you glimpses of that, but they also showed you shades of that game against the Minnesota Wild, right? Like, yeah. It's they just got to figure it out, man. And do they need help on the back end? I think we talked about it last post-game, guys, and I think every show on the station throughout the week said, just get that damn defenseman, because you need him sooner rather than later.
Yes. Well said, Hernan. Well said. All right, Cass, some final thoughts from you heading into tomorrow night's game against the Avs. The Avalanche, let's see if we've got a final there. 7 seconds left in that game in Dallas. Dallas up 5-3. So Avs coming home. Got to travel from Dallas. The Oilers popping in from Utah. So shorter travel for the Oilers. 8 o'clock start Mountain Time tomorrow for both teams. We're in the Mountain Time zone with Salt Lake City as well. So that's kind of a new thing. How do you look at it from an Oilers point of view going into tomorrow night against the Avalanche?
Yeah, we'll take a couple extra deep breaths because the air is thin. Hey, you're going to have, this. I haven't watched too much Colorado this year, but when I have watched, they've been a team that's been struggling to get this going here too. They've had some shaky goaltending. They just haven't been nearly as dominant as they have been in years past. Like they have really struggled to just find some of that mojo this year. And they're coming off a loss. I mean, no one wants to lose back-to-back. And for Edmonton, anytime you're on the road for back-to-back, so 2 games, so not one at home, one on the road, but you're on the road for 2 and you win the first one, the real tendency in the second one is to kind of be like, okay, we're all right. Because if we have back-to-back games on the road and we go 500, most teams are like, okay, that's all right. Like you're not getting upset about it. So the natural tendency here is going to be a little bit complacent, but I think you're stepping into a game in that for the Colorado Avalanche, as their season goes on too, and they haven't hit their stride yet, they're looking for answers also. Like they're going to be, you're majorly pushing to try to turn their season around and to start to crawl back into being a contending team where right now they're not. Not that Edmonton has hit that level either. So you have kind of 2 teams that are, are expected to do really good things that are still just kind of middling, struggling a little bit. Yep. And a lot of this game could come down to just who executes better and who comes out of the gate quicker with back-to-backs.
Cass, excellent stuff. The Oilers improved to 12-9-2. The Avs have fallen to 13-11. They're 7-3 in their last 10, but they lose tonight 5-3 in Dallas to the Stars. Great work as always, my friend. You're not in tomorrow. It's Belsey in for you, right?
Yep.
And then it's going to be Trev in for Hernan. So, boys, enjoy your weekend. See you on Tuesday against the Golden Knights, I guess. I'm the only one going to be hanging around tomorrow.
You'll be fine because the Oilers are going to win big.
Oh, there you go.
Huge.
Great work, Cass. I'll see you after the weekend. Good job tonight.
Have a good weekend, Cass.
All right, there is our game analyst, Matt Cassian, helping us break down the Oilers' 4-3 overtime win over Utah. HC, stupidest name in the league, and hopefully they convert it to Yeti as soon as this season is over. Keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. You can also get at us in the Nasty Chat if you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Apple Music, and EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player. We appreciate you. And if you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up, please, and thank you. Tell your friends and get your Nasty Chat conversation going. I saw Rip City Step giving it to me. I have no. What did I do, Step? You called me Tomothy for something. No, I don't know what.
Rip City Step's requesting music.
Oh, he is. I'm not. I talked to the DJ. He's a good guy. He's awesome. All the girls that are here for Christmas parties are just ready to dance, and I think I saw Derek Van Diest dancing too. So he's feeling it as well. But let's get right. That's a nice little tease.
Tom, hang on. You got to move to your right.
I will.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's do one thing before we get DVD in here, and I'll get it all set up for us. Okay. We got to get to the Damon Bunting Remax Elite Player of the Game. Damon Bunting, consistent, top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian Remax realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. It's community-driven, understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram page, Damon Bunting Real Estate. All right, Nancito, who is our player of the game?
This is a tough one, Tom, because I know Nuge scored the OT winner, but that third goal, that effort was atrocious. He's not getting it. I'm sorry. Nuge needs to be better. I'm going to go, I can't give it to McDavid. He was a -3. I'm going to go with Leon Draisaitl, 23-16, second in time on ice, and he had a goal and an assist for 2 points. He had 5 shots on net. I thought he was pretty good on the night. So, Tom, I'm sorry, but I can't give it to the Nuge. So, I'm going to go with Leon Draisaitl because I thought Nuge struggled for most of the game, and getting a goal in overtime, you can't just wipe all that out. So, is that fair?
Yes, that's very harsh, but I respect it very much. Leon Draisaitl. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's good. I don't have to be. Okay, spread it out. Get out of my way. All right, you got the 3 shots set up. Oh my God. Derek Van Diest from NHL.com joining us now. Hey, by the way, these are new mics and headsets that Matty Awanek picked up. they sound louder than the other ones that we have for our road gear. How are they, Hernan?
They're really good, man. Like, and I'll say the music is just.
They sound okay. They got
loud.
the place rocking tonight.
Yeah, they do.
He's dancing. He's dancing. Very nice.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
Feeling good. Good win. Place is rocking.
6 o'clocker lager also available here at Hudson's. Shout out to Steve, Adam, Meg, Amy, Colby, Jeff, Eric, great crew here. And 6 o'clocker lager is also available till Christmas. I think maybe till the new year at Sobe Safeway liquor stores for $12.99 for a 4-pack. I need to remind people of that.
Yep.
And how about this for a Christmas treat? We saw Scott Laurie here today.
Yeah, we did. That was great.
We did. It was so good to see Scott. He's an absolute treat. He's doing great. Hopefully we can get him back on the Hangout soon. So a lot of Christmas cheer, hoopla, and spirit happening here at Hudson's Bourbon Street. All right, we've got DVD, Derek Van Diest from NHL.com here. Let's get your thoughts on the game because we've critiqued some elements of it, but overall it's a win coming out of a weird break.
Yeah, can you critique a win? I guess it's not shocking that they got off to a slow start. It's a 5-day break, so it's been a while since they've been on the ice. You can practice as much as you want. They're trying to get healthy, but obviously the game legs weren't there in the first period.
Yeah.
And then they kind of figured it out. You know what? The power play's going, the PK is going. That's got to be a real positive if you're an Oilers fan, because that was two real struggles of their game lately. And 5-on-5 they were fine, but they couldn't get the special teams going. So you're looking at their PK now. Was it 17 in a row for PK?
17 in a row.
17 in a row.
Straight games.
Yeah, and then 2 power play goals today. They were playing well. Like it took them a while to find their skating legs. My concern is that again they're blowing third period leads. Like they're up in the third period, 3-2. You got to put that away. You can't let teams fight back and then you win the game in overtime. And I think we've seen that a little far too often this year, where good teams are automatic. Once they get up, goal in the third, it shut the game down.
Yeah.
Like you look at Game 7 Stanley Cup final, that's exactly what happened, right? You got to be able to shut those down, put those away, close the game out, as they say, and the Oilers haven't been able to do that. But hey, we're critiquing wins here. So they won the game. Not an easy place to play. Regroup, fly to Colorado, and try to do it again tomorrow.
But DVD, you make a good point because it's the way they gave up those leads, right? Like if it's a beautiful goal, sometimes you got to give credit to the other team. They made good plays as well. But it was a Kasperi-Kapanen turnover that led to the third goal. And then Bouchard has his guy, goes to the middle of them, and News just is looking. He doesn't even take a stride to take up Lawson Krause. So I think that's the frustrating part. It's not that they're getting beat with beautiful goals and great plays. Sometimes you just gotta accept that it's their own faults again, costing them the tying goals, right?
Yeah, I was having this discussion with one of your nasties at the bar here, and then I was saying just before they led up to the third goal, the Oilers don't do the simple things when they're in the head. They don't get the puck in deep. They don't get a lot of guys behind the puck.
Point.
They don't do those simple things that teams that shut down do. Get the puck in deep, put a lot of guys behind the puck. I remember Brian Maxwell used to coach the Lethbridge Hurricanes, said to me once, it's easy to hold the lead. Just get a lot of guys behind the puck. The Oilers don't do that. They turn pucks over at the center ice. They turn pucks over inside their blue line. They try to make fancy plays coming out with 3 minutes to go in the period. Play the game, play the situational. They don't do situational hockey very well right now, and that's got to be driving the coaching staff crazy. You shouldn't have to tell these guys, hey, with 3 minutes to go and you're up a goal, get the puck in deep. Don't turn the puck over at the red line. Don't turn the puck over inside your blue line. It's simple hockey, and they're not doing it right now. And I think the good thing is that you can fix that. You can repair that. But it's just happening over and over and over and over again. Dumb mistakes, and they have to play better situational hockey, in my opinion.
Yeah. Nance, so you want to follow up, or are you good on that one?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. But again, on the positive side, they were able to bounce back, get the lead, and then win it in overtime. Unfortunately, they couldn't score on the power play there at the end, even though they had good pressure on guys. But for me, it's an important 2 points because your next two opponents are going to be much, much tougher. Colorado tomorrow, who lost tonight in Dallas, and Vegas is always tough at home. especially against the Oilers. So I think he needed to bank these 2 points. They did that. And they can go in tomorrow feeling good, but putting in a better first 30 minutes, because the first 30 minutes tonight, guys, was really, really bad. And they're lucky that if Utah finds that third goal, it's probably over.
Yeah, shots at the 9-minute mark of the second period were 18-8 for Utah.
Yeah, Calvin Pickard played well. How about that one save in the third period?
On Schmaltz, that was a nice save.
Huge. That save. He makes that save, the Oilers don't win the game.
Oh, CB's here. If you've seen CB in the nasty chat, he's saying bye. Oh, he's knocking over the light. Oh, CB. Good to see. Oh, no, there we go.
It's getting rowdy.
Let's get. It was okay.
It's getting rowdy.
It is getting rowdy.
Your on-air light's not working, by the way.
CB. Okay,
you
go
gotta
in
get
some
new
money.
batteries for that on-air light.
That on-air light's seen better days.
You got to have the on-air light.
Listen, man, we're on the road with our shows so much
I'm just
now.
saying,
Sometimes this gear needs some love. Yeah, so, I mean, if you saw the struggle it was to get here today, never mind.
All right.
All right. Let's get to some more text. 780-218-9999. Scalding Gourd says, Tommy, can you say I have no place winning the Lotto Max? You said Vasily Podkolzin had no place playing on the top line, and that came true. Love to your mamas. I stand by it. That was great. He's playing good, taking advantage of his opportunity, but ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, he's not a top 6 guy.
The guy had 1 goal in over a year. Yes, he scored today. Good job for him. But
good job.
1 goal in over a year is not going to get you.
He's got 2 in 2 games now.
Now he's got 2 in 2 games.
He has 7 points in 23.
Yes, but I'm saying it was like a whole calendar year between goals for him. So, yeah, you got to earn that spot on the top line. I get it.
Yeah.
Scored a goal. You don't get there in the top spot after 1 goal. I like what he does. I like him.
Sure.
He does he forechecks well. He wins pucks for you. He's a good player, but you need to produce if you're going to be on that top line. You can't just the 1 goal.
And he produced tonight with Scalding Gourd.
Nice goal.
I respect, and it was a nice goal. He a little look off on the 2-on-1, snaps it low on Vamelka. That's a nice goal.
No,
so
it's a good goal. Yeah.
He's got 2 goals, and they're goal scorer goals. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
they really are.
He should have more. He's a skilled player. He's a talented player. Goes to the net, plays hard. Just those hands got to catch up to his feet.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to a few more here. Rip City Step. Sending in Pod Colson scoring. Yes. Taxman. All right. Tommy, I love the power play tonight. I think the quality of the power play tonight is a bit overshadowed by the lucky bounces, but those happen because puck retrieval was better. Some incredible blue line keep-ins and way more movement than we've seen so far this year. The dangerous bounces came as a result of the quality plays of the group and the ones they're making. Just my thoughts. Love the show, boys. Let's keep putting them in the win column. Taxman, I think that's a good text. I agree with a lot of what you said. Pretty much all of what you said. There was good movement, good puck retrievals, second opportunities because they made a good, let's call it last-ditch effort to keep pucks in, and they were rewarded for it, and they did get good bounces for it.
The power play has been stagnant. They kind of stand around, give the puck to McDavid, and watch him do something. Draisaitl drifts off to his spot, and then I think people have seen that rodeo, so they're adjusting. The Oilers have to adjust to it, do a little bit more. I think they got a couple lucky bounces today, but yeah, that power play. They give the puck to McDavid and watch him do all the skating. I think there's got to be a bit more movement on the other 4 guys' part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Hernan, you want to jump in?
Yeah, we're getting a little criticism for critiquing a win, but this is not.
No, we're saying it's a good win.
Yeah, it's 2 points, and
they had a bad start to the game.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster. First 30 minutes awful, last 30 minutes better. I wouldn't say great, but it's just like we're always gonna critique a win and a loss, guys. There's always good and bad, and in the Rangers game there was a lot more good than bad. There's barely any bad, guys.
Yeah.
So you got to take it on a game by game basis, and that's what we do on postgame shows. We got to get into the details and and all of that, guys, right? Like, we're not just going to sit here with pom-poms and cheer them on, right? Like,
I'll just say this. Go ahead.
No,
Finish.
go ahead, Tom.
I'll just say this. If you want a strictly Oilers point of view, this isn't your post-game show or pre-game show. If you just want to hear how lovely everything is, everything smells like roses, it's all sunshine, no rain, and you want to be fed lies, not the right pre and post game show. If you want just fan pump up and fans serving fans from us, not the right pre and post game show. But if you want to look at these games and be critical in the right areas and provide praise in the right areas for the right moments, this is your show.
Well, we're playing the long game here, right?
Yeah.
We're not worried about the regular season. If you're an Oilers fan, you're going to get in the playoffs. But the small habits the bad habits you get in now are going to cost you come playoff time. And I think that's the thing that coaches look at. That's the thing I think we're looking at. They got to get out of those bad habits. They got to get those bad habits out of the game. And I get it. They got 3/4 of a season to do that. But you don't want those creeping into you. And I think right now, they won the game. Good job on them. But we're looking big picture. We're looking long down the road here. Because you get those bad habits now when you're playing in a conference final, you're playing in the second round, playing in a Stanley Cup final. That's when details matter. But you got to get those details down now to have them solidified back in the playoffs.
Well said. And I'll just add this too. We're reading texts from the viewers and listeners, which are fans. So it's not just straight up our opinion shredding this team. No. But we're looking at it, trying to take the Oilers glasses off and try to be as objective as possible. They won. That's great. They put together back-to-back wins. They're going to have a tough night tomorrow against an Avalanche team that's going to be pissed off. Let's look at the good. Let's talk about it. Let's give them praise for it. Let's look at the bad. Let's see where they can improve. That's how we do it. If you're new to the show, welcome. That's how we do it. We're not pumping up the team like we're fanboys, and we're not giving you a perspective like we work for the team, because I've been there. I did that for 8 years. I had to bullshit through my teeth about how bad that team was, but I told you it was all sunshine and rainbows when really it was the decade of darkness. So just I find that comment or those comments interesting, Hernan, on a night like tonight, where for the first half of the game, they were not the best team.
It was just a few, and they might be, like you said, they might be new and all that. But
I'm just saying.
We'll always praise the Oilers when they play
deserve
well.
some praise.
Of course, McDavid's goal was wonderful. They worked hard. I mean, I was sitting with DVD from the pod-sklon goal. It was a great shot, heavy shot. I was going to say the Arizona, the Utah goalie. He had to do a double take because he didn't even know where it was. Like, that's how heavy his shot was. So, and sometimes we kid, right, with Pod, and of course we want him to do well. But I'm with Tom, and I'm with Reed, and I'm with DVD. You got to produce more if you're up there. But he's playing well. He plays well. He plays the game the right way. He's only 23 years old, so sky's the limit for this guy. Maybe he's found his home here in Edmonton, and he, take advantage of the situation. But 23 games in, you need more than 2 goals. But again, we're not going to complain because he's playing well, and maybe the goals will start coming now, guys, right? What if he goes on a roll? So that'd be great for the Oilers.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's an unexpected, pleasant surprise if he goes on a roll. He's got 2 goals in 2 games, and they like him. So guys, there we go.
Good crowd tonight, but a lot of Oilers fans too. That looked awesome.
Well, it's not hard to get to Salt Lake City either.
No.
You can get down there. You can drive down there, although that whole pass through Montana and northern Idaho is scary if it's snowing a lot.
It's a very picturesque city. I've been to Utah. I've been to Salt Lake.
Is.
Yeah, it's a very picturesque city. It's a very nice city, and I think hockey will do well there. And it's a good sports town. They really support their teams there.
Do.
So they're gonna really enjoy playing in Utah. I think it's gonna be it's a good score for the NHL to go play in Utah. Not that there's issues with Arizona. I wish Arizona had worked out, but I think Utah is a bit more of a hockey market than Arizona would be.
100% agree. Although we'll see Arizona get another team, won't we?
They love that market. It's a big media market, right? They love a lot of snowbirds down there. They got to build the rink in the right part of town.
Yeah, they do.
I think that was the issue.
Okay, let's go to Mike. Oh, go ahead, Nan.
I was just going to say, Rip said he's on fire on the Nasty chat. He's loving the tunes, and he's just, I love it.
I swear, Yeah, they're dancing. They're dancing. Mike at Thunder Bay says 2 wins in a row, baby. 2 completely different teams. This was the Mr. Hyde to the Rangers game, Dr. Jekyll. I'm glad they gutted out a win. Hope the team knows they will need a better effort tomorrow. Also, Tommy, when are we going to hear your apology to top 6 player Vasily Potsgolzin? Not going to happen.
Silly Potsgolzin.
Potts goals. He's got 2 and 2, and praise 2 nice goals. I'll say goal scorers goal.
It's Todd Colson, wasn't it? The other day?
Well, yeah, somebody they're like
Potsgolzin.
Todd's Colson or Todd Colson. Someone tried to do voice to text, and it corrected it to Todd Colson instead of Pod Colson. And Potsgolzin is a nice play on it. Shout out to Uncle Gene for shaving that mustache of his on air, by the way, with Bob laughing beside him. He looks good.
He's got to lose the mullet next.
I know. I'm surprised Sportsnet hasn't made him cut it yet. He said he was supposed to get it cut.
We love Gene, though. He's awesome.
We do love Gene. He's my uncle, and I love him. All right. We have a few more minutes here. Nanso, do we have any audio and video to get to, or are we just going to roll through?
No, I do have Nuge if you guys would like to hear what.
Yeah, let's hear from the Nuge. Okay, so Ryan Nugent-Hopkins coming up here. He scores the OT winner as Edmonton wins at 4-3. We'll get to some more texts as we wind things down, and keep those coming in. 780-218-9999, and then the nasty chat as well. I'm keeping tabs on that. It's a busy, fun, exciting night Friday, and people are pumped up. I'll just say dance floor is going, DJ's going, so let's go
to a nightclub here.
Yeah, it turned into a nightclub. We got bouncers at the door. It's all good. Let's go to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins after his game-winning goal in overtime.
To win. How did you guys kind of respond after that first?
I mean, definitely a little internal talk here in between the first and second. I still think coming on the second, Fix had to make some good stops, and we got a kill. Kind of gave us a little boost. Got a power play goal, obviously, and went from there. But probably a night we didn't feel our best, but get the 2 points is obviously huge on a night like that.
Not one power play goal, but 2. Yeah. How did that do for this group?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the biggest thing about power play is when you score. I thought obviously it was a big moment to get that one, so it was a great job by Pairings and Bushi keeping pucks alive, and obviously a great shot on the second one.
That goal just hasn't been going in for you this year. You come down in overtime, and did you pick the spot? And it must have felt good to see it go in.
I mean, yeah, I saw it. Obviously, he's the opposite hand, so just try to see a spot and hit it. Yeah, I mean, I think quite a few times this year I'm either missing it by a couple inches, or it's goalie's making a good stop on it, or post or whatever. But obviously, nice to see him going once in a while.
Does the righty glove kind of throw you off a little bit at first?
A little bit. I tried not. Obviously, like, it was overtime, so you see him the whole night, so you get used to it. But tried not to overthink that part of it. Just tried to see a spot and try to hit.
What would you say between periods? What happened in here between the first second?
Obviously, we just need to get going here. Weren't playing to our standard, so yeah, just sometimes you need to kind of have a hard talk within our group, and nobody was calling each other out, nothing like that. It's just everybody knew that we had better, and obviously we showed that in the second and third.
Vasily gets another goal, right? Like that
yeah.
kind of gets player going. It seems like once he's got one, maybe a couple more.
Yeah, for sure. The confidence to be able to shoot that puck and kind of power it through him there. I know a lot of times our group wants to make that next play on the 2-on-1, but obviously it shows why shooting the puck's a great thing to do.
Sorry to interrupt you. How big was that save by Calvin Pickard? I know it was 14 minutes out, but it was a 3-3 hockey game. You can feel the momentum. Could go either way. That one stop.
Huge, yeah, especially after they just get one and then come back. They make a good play there. He has to get all the way across, and yeah, I think at that point it's they get a lead. It's tough to claw your way back against any team, and I think this team has taken a lot of steps in their defensive the way they play, and it's harder to create opportunities. So massive save at a huge time for us.
All right, there's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He was the hero on the night, but somehow didn't wind up being the Damon Bunting Remax League player of the game.
Nope.
That went to Leon Draisaitl. Hernan, a little stringent on his prerequisites?
So he was asked about what was said after the first. So I have the direct quote. It was an internal talk. It was led by Leon Draisaitl. And this is, just in case someone missed it, sometimes there's moments where it gets louder and the uncomfortable things need to be said, unfortunately. The one great part about our team is there's never any finger pointing. If a guy decides to say something, he puts himself into the conversation as well. We are a mature group that can handle those moments.
That's well said by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. That's a veteran-savvy quote, I would say.
No, it is. Sometimes you got to speak up in the room. Sometimes there's a lot of voices in that room. We all saw what McDavid did the finals last year in that TV show. I asked him about that. Sometimes you got to make your voice heard. And I think it helps when guys that don't speak up a lot actually speak up, because then suddenly you're taking notice.
Yeah.
The guy's yelling and screaming, it's the same guy yelling and screaming, that message gets lost right away, right? It's like, it's like parenting. I'm not a parent, but I just tell my sister how to raise her kids. You scream and yell at them all the time. Eventually she's going to go one ear out the other. You got to pick your spot. So
how does she react?
Hey, when Uncle gets mad, the kids know, hey, Uncle's mad, because he doesn't get mad very often.
I feel like this is hitting close to home. Did you have a moment
it's
this
like
weekend?
you just got to pick your spots. And I think when, Leon Draisaitl picks his spots and he says something, he's like, hey, guys, enough is enough. And it is enough is enough. Like, it's like they're supposed to be championship contending team.
Right.
Let's play like championship contending teams. And I think they're getting there. They're slowly getting there. But like I said, we're looking at the long game here. It's like golfers. They never talk about the great shots they made. They talk about the ones that they left out on the course, right? So that's what the Oilers are looking at here. They're looking at the long game. They want to have their game ready to go by the end of May, April. And these little things that you don't do now are going to bite you in the butt in April, in May, in the playoffs. So I think that's what they're looking at.
And I'm just, guys, I'm just happy it's something like this happened, because we never hear about these things, closed door meetings, players only meetings. We never do with this team. And then today's the first time, I think, outside of that prime where we saw McDavid go crazy in the finals, that we've heard something like this come out publicly. Now, maybe they do it, guys. They just don't share it. But I'm glad they did, because if Draisaitl stood up in that room and said, come on, boys, like, this is getting ridiculous, and you saw the response in the second period, guys. Now, the third period was a little bit back and forth, some good, some bad, but I'm just glad someone finally got up and said, hey, guys, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and that's valid.
It's a different mentality when you're a championship team as opposed to your team just trying to get to the playoffs, opposed to a team just treading water. A team just treading water would be like, oh, right, we're proud, we got the win.
Come on,
we got out of here. Good job, guys.
Good job,
boys. A team that's a championship contender does critique their wins. They look at it, they go, boys, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
We can't fall down 2-0, because we fall down 2-0 in the playoffs, we ain't coming back from 2-0 down. I think that's what they're looking at. And these guys, like I said, they see the big picture. They know what's going on. And they got to figure it out. And like I said, it's going to take some time. They're figuring out pieces of their game slowly but surely. Harpa's going, PK's going, 5-on-5's playing well, but they just got to, the little things in their game they got to clean up.
And that's a good point. And it's not a straight shot to the top. It's not a straight ascension. There's going to be peaks and valleys on the way up, and we're seeing that. And the warts, like Shaggy and St. Albert was saying, completely valid. All right, let's get to a few more texts, and then we'll wrap things up. We're live on location, Hudson's, Bourbon Street. Tom Gazzola, Derek Van Diest on location, and then we got Hernan Salas back at EST HQ, 780-218-9999. A few more minutes here, and then if you're watching, get into the nasty chat. Let's go to Byron. Byron texts and says, hey, it's not the best showing, but great to see a win after the long layoff. Love the Nuge with the game winner. Shout out to pod-sklon. Great to see him contributing. The defense needs upgrading. Byron out in Winnipeg. Thanks, Byron. Randy says, okay, let's get to what Randy had to say. It's a long one. Tommy, have the Oilers ever had an ugly or undeserved win that you called out as other than it wasn't ugly? But personally, I think athletes should be more critical of themselves on team wins. Yet it seems to be the differentiator between of home team or clearly biased media when a win's a win, even when a bad team outplays them or they play poorly and win. Not a fan of that type of media commentary or that type of fandom, but you guys probably don't have the same appreciation for that opinion. Hey, so let's play the hits and plan the parade. Smug emoji. Randy also had "see what I mean?" quote. We're critiquing wins was just said. Effing coin flip. That is 3-on-3 OT. Makes the rules if you're allowed to critique a game. That's wild and backwards to me. Randy, thank you for the text as always. And I feel like you're always contrarian. I can't please you tonight. I love Randy, but I don't. Is this your first
year in the market? You can't please back.
No, Randy's been listening to us back since the 1260 days.
Everyone's allowed their opinion. I get that. But like I said, it's a long. You're playing the long game here, Randy. And if you're playing the long game, yeah, you want to add up those wins. I get that, but you want to clean up your game. And I think you got to look at wins with a critical eye. You can look at losses that way too. You could say, hey, we did everything right, but won the game. And there's been times where we've said that they should have won this game. They just didn't get the break. They didn't get the goaltending, whatever it is. So, but I think we're looking big picture here, not just one game in Utah on a Friday night.
I'll say this, and again, we love and appreciate Randy. We have some good debates, but you could be like, hey, the Oilers jerseys are blue. And Randy would be like, actually, Tom, they're a shade of cyan.
That's why we love doing the show, right?
Yes,
it's
exactly.
That's the beauty of the show.
Exactly. Randy, I hope I'm putting that into a fair context.
Yeah. Everybody's got entitled to their opinion. I mean, that's what makes these shows great, right, guys? That you get different opinions from everywhere, and hey, man, it's all fun, and it's sports, and we love covering this team, and you guys love cheering for this team, but it's just fun. Yeah, 2 points is 2 points. It's great, but
it's the beauty of sports.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, I've got two more here. Scalding Gourd says, "Oh, Tommy, you lovable bastard. I just really wanted you to say I wasn't going to win the lottery in hopes it would help. It had little to do with pod calls. And on a serious note, a win is a win. You lose some, you deserve to win. So take these and move on." And then let's go to Displaced You, Connor, with the final thought. Displaced You, Connor. Good to hear from you, too. Says, ugly wins are still 2 points, boys. Loving the show, boys. You know what, Displaced You, Connor, just for that? Right, buddy. Right. You like that? Okay, Hernan, some final thoughts from you.
Hey, man, you got Whitney Houston playing there, man. It's a classic banger.
This is rocking.
No, good win, 2 points. You needed it. Tomorrow's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm intrigued to see the Oilers' effort tomorrow, especially with Leon stepping up after 20 minutes and kind of putting his foot down with this team. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be Tom. It's going to be Sean Bell. It's going to be YouTube Trev. As myself and Cass are off tomorrow for different family stuff. So it's going to be a good one.
A good thing.
Okay, final thoughts, DVD.
It was a good win. Corn dogs, Jackie Moon. Corn dogs. They won the game. Everybody. Corn dogs for everybody. They won the game. Let's move on to the next one.
It's the Catalina wine mixer. Rough start to this game. They get a bit of an eye-opener from Leon Draisaitl in the intermission. Their game starts to pick up. Special teams. This is one of the few nights we could be like, special teams were the difference for a positive reason. PK and penalty kill. Good to see incremental growth. So let's see if that continues in a tough rink tomorrow in Denver. The Oilers taking on the Colorado Avalanche. And we'll be on the air 7 p.m. for the pregame show. Myself, Sean Bell, as well as YouTube Trev. Good show, boys. Thank you, DVD, for stopping by.
No problem.
I owe you a beer. I'll get you one right now. 6 o'clock or lager here at Hudson's. Hernan, great to see you here as well. Rob from the Grove, entire Combine crew. Nice to see you guys. Thank you for coming out. Thank you to all of the crew here at Hudson's. For Hernan, Salas, and Derek Van Diest, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Ciao for now. See you guys tomorrow.